Listen, man, so it's imperative that the youth come together and make a stand, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can't really stress that enough. I'm proud of, you know, the people that I'm surrounded with, that like we've been out here pretty much at every rally, been out here at in Ferguson every other night, you know what I'm saying, trying to make a stand. People of all races been out here. It's really not a fight. It's really not a race war. You know, it's pretty much just we trying to shed light on the police brutality that's been going on for years in St. Louis, and the county especially. You know, like the county police has just been prejudiced against black people for years, and like Mike Brown was the last straw. Mike Brown was the straw that brought the camel's back. So, you know what I'm saying? We out here trying to make a change, and so that history doesn't repeat itself. You know what I'm saying?
Justice for every child. Know your rights. Stay in school. Learn your history. It's not just about racism. We all have to stand for something or we'll fall for anything. Justice for Mike Brown. Keep your hope alive. Stay in school, everybody. Get your education. It's what you need. Justice for Mike Brown.
Hi, I'm working with Creating Kennedy, and here we have Laura,
Joshua Perez,
Jamila Jackson. Okay, did you guys meet out here, or were you already friends, or?
I met him on Wednesday, and just today, right?
I've known Jamila since high school, and I just met Lauren on Wednesday.
Yeah, I just met her, and we've been friends since high school. Okay, now how did you guys come up with the slogans on these signs?
Well, considering the very embarrassing...
Show everyone the signs so we can see what it says.
There's two sides that refer to the same thing. Considering the very, very embarrassing and frankly just disgusting remarks from the chief of police, I thought this was pretty relevant. There's so many holes in the story that I think it's really great because it's going to allow people who are more apathetic who just want to buy into it. They can't. It's too evident that it's all made up. And this is my other side.
For me, it was something I saw spray painted somewhere in the city one day, and it stuck with me forever. It worked.
I got my idea from the sign because we're only getting the police's story. I'm not getting Mike Brown's story. The Mike Brown story can't be heard because Mike Brown's not here. And the back of our shirt says freedom for one, freedom for all. And it's true. It's true. Like, we're not all free here anymore. All right, and just what you said, commenting on how we're not getting the whole story, I myself personally believe that the media and everybody didn't show the whole story of how the whole community of St. Louis has come together of all colors. And this right here is a perfect example. And what do you guys feel about that, about how it's not being shown that we have all come together, all different races, for the same thing, and there isn't animosity between, I feel like, and maybe you guys disagree, that between the citizens, there is no animosity really here.
There's definitely not any animosity. I mean, it's very clear that the mainstream media wants to paint a very specific narrative, and it's most successful for them if they feed off the idea that it's a extremely black versus white, when it's really about white supremacy and about racial discrimination. It's not against human beings, it's about systematic problems. And then the other thing is like, it's very important for them to paint this protest as if it's a riot and we're all chaotic and breaking everything, and it's just not true, but it's how they need to paint it to discredit our ideology.
Absolutely, and the only riot that went down was on Sunday, and the people who did start rioting were opportunists. The people who are here right now, everyone's being peaceful, everyone is being loving. I've been told thank you so many times tonight. So many, and that's what it's about. We're all here for each other. We're all here supporting. We're all here to be one voice together as a race of humans. That's what it's about.
Long story short, chaos sells. I was here yesterday. From 8 to like 1 o'clock in the morning. And then the police and CNN left around 9 o'clock because they didn't have a story to show anymore. No police were here, nobody was here. CNN was packing up. If there's no chaos, there's no story, and they don't want to hear it. And that's exactly what I feel. If there's no chaos, there's no story. And that's exactly why I feel like some people were justified in the rioting because we had to get our story out. And St. Louis has started a a movement. That's why I believe St. Louis started a movement.
And if you're looking historically, I mean, the idea of strictly nonviolent resistance is not successful.
Yeah,
it's not.
There are riots all the time in other countries for soccer games. I mean,
oh yeah, yeah. I mean, white people with beer rioting over football. That's not a problem.
That's what I'm saying. And I feel like they didn't take any innocent lives or anything like that. So property can be replaced.
The reason that there's so much attention towards this is because of our white capitalist structure that thinks that the value of private property is more valuable than human lives.
And that's something that I've been trying to touch on, is to say that this is really a bigger issue. This is a small, the race thing, they're playing that against everybody, and really that's a small, it's an issue.
It's connected
but
to all
it's connected to everything, and there really is, when we break it down, it's all of us against the super rich.
Yes.
Really.
Oh yeah, because we live in a plutocracy where the rich ruling class run everything, and it's about race relation, or it's about racial discrimination. It's about structured white supremacy. It's not about individuals feeling a certain thing, because that's clearly not the problem.
And that's a narrative I've seen amongst all different types of people who have been out here, that they really do see the bigger picture. And we as St. Louisans are just the first to start a revolution, I think, and get the story out. We see the bigger picture.
They can't call it race when you have a Puerto Rican, a black person, and a white person standing together.
And that's been going on since the beginning of the riots. I was out here since I won't say the riots, since the beginning of the protests. I've been out here since day one, and I've seen nothing but love between everybody. And I just want everyone to be able to see that's what's out here.
Thank you for documenting this. Thank you for showing the world. That's what we need, people like you. We need people like us. We need people like all of us here.
Independent media.
Independent media.
I work at one of the quick trips in the area, and I'm still here. When co-workers understand, but I'm still here, and it feels good.
Yep. All right, thank you guys. Thank you.
So
Let's go, guys.
Where can we find them?
Let's go, Mike! Mike Brown! Mike Brown! Yeah! Mike Brown!
Don't shoot! Don't shoot!
Mike Brown! Mike Brown! Mike Brown! Mike Brown! Mike Brown! Mike Brown! Don't shoot! Don't shoot! Don't shoot! Hands up! Don't shoot!
Hands up! Hands up! Hands up!
Hands up! Hands up!
I feel I'm one. I feel like I represent both sides, all sides, not just one. And it's impacted the whole entire culture dramatically. We're just out here to make change, do what's right, you know? Because if we don't stand up, who will? And for the people that's just watching, bless your heart. That's it. Bless your heart.
And before we started recording, she just told me an interesting story. Can you tell me this story about the looters and the gas? What happened? She was out here the first night.
Well, we were out here, and as we walked back from the police line, and they sent the dogs out, and we were walking back, then they had broken into the windows over here and pretty much taken over the gas station. They asked me if, you know, people kept coming over to me saying, "Do you need gas?" I said, "No, I'm good, really. Just filled up." But they apparently were liberating the gas tanks as we stood there.
So in a way, would you say they were kind of friendly?
They were very friendly. Everybody was friendly. The only people that weren't friendly were the cops.
And that's something I think that needs to be said, that everyone down here, would you say the tension in the air was pretty much all the citizens of all colors against the cops and not amongst each other, that it was pretty much everyone was together?
There was no tension except the riot gear, the tear gas masks, and the dogs. And the first night we were here, as we began to march, they met us with dogs. And when they put their tear gas masks on, wrapped our scarves around our faces, and we formed a peace line between the crowd and the police, because the police, they were out of control. They looked like a military building.
That Sunday, so I watched, which is what I saw on our own station on Fox 2. Sunday was heartbreaking to see the looting taking place here. That's not the community out there. Most community. So.
And would you agree with me that looting takes place all over the world, and mostly during
England. So would you say that the looting was over-exaggerated?
No, I wouldn't say that because we showed what was happening. I mean, the pictures told the story, so I don't think it was over-exaggerated.
Well, not over-exaggerated, but do you think it was pressed more than all the positive things that went on? Because I was here for 2 days, and I believe there was a small timestamp over the larger frame of things. I mean, and you not being here, I can understand how you wouldn't, you know, would have to.
I mean, you've seen the positive things that have happened in the last couple of days, and that has been.
Okay. And would you also agree with me that looting does take place in any uprising? I mean, we all remember Egypt a couple years ago, and they had some of the worst crime happening during that nation's uprising.